Hello, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you so much for joining us today on this live stream. I'm Metal Orpheus, and today I got a very special guest with me. Shall I call you Envus, or would you prefer Evil Dungeon Crawler instead? Or would you prefer
It's
your actual name?
it's up to you, mate. I don't mind.
Envus of Evil
Yeah,
Dungeon Crawler, real name Joel, right?
yeah, that's it.
Sweet, man. Sweet. It's so nice to see you here, dude. Thank you so much for joining me today. Or tonight, rather, in Europe.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. Um, you did catch my attention, I have to say, quite recently, because of a mutual friend of ours, Rosie, um, who sent you an invite one day while I was live streaming, and you popped in, and she told me that she'd send a good friend, another good friend of hers on TikTok, an invite to join, and then I checked you out, and I was like, wow, dude. And then I looked through your videos, and we'll get into that in a while. But I just wanted to know, is this for real your very first sort of like interview, like about your art, about your music?
Yeah,
Are you nervous?
kinda.
Don't be, dude. Don't be. I'm just here to chill with you, to be honest. And all the lovely people here as well on both streams. They're just here to just basically get to know you a bit better. Maybe probably hear things they've never heard about you before, I guess, right? Like, I'm very curious, okay? First of all, to me, and I mean it in the nicest, kindest, honest way, you seem young. I mean, when I say young, I mean in your early 20s, right?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Perfect. See, I got a good eye. So, and you're a black metal musician, right? Correct?
Yes.
And you've just basically this year started your venture into the world of music officially, right?
Yeah.
Before that, before Envus, Envus being your stage name, as Joel, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone and just let us know where you're from? Because I'm sure there's people out there, maybe on my side, who don't know who you are or what you do, and it's their very first impression seeing you live, especially. So, would you like to tell us just a few things like where you live? Because so people don't really know. A lot of people don't know where you are right now or where you're from. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh, I am from the northeast of England, and I'm I've always been an artist and a musician, kind of.
Hmm.
I started out musically. I started getting into metal like in lockdown. Actually, that was when I started getting into it properly.
Hmm.
But before that, when I was really really young, that's when I used to listen to the Call of Duty Zombies songs and a few like 3 Days Grace songs, which is more like emo.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
used to listen to that a lot back in the day. And that kind of spurred me on later in life to listen to things like Typo Negative and Metallica, things like that. Those were like some of the earliest bands I got into in 2020 and 2021.
Hmm.
And then from there, I just kind of been on a downward spiral and eventually got into black metal with Carpathian Forest.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where it started. But before that, I was in a thrash outfit called Equitum in Newcastle.
Ah.
And I was with them for about a year or so, and then I had to leave because of university.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then that's when I started Evil Dungeon Crawler.
Nice, man. That's pretty interesting. Like, but was there any like specific influence in your family or your friends? Like, where did you pick up well, let alone the black metal element. Where did you pick up the metal from? Like the whole sort of like, thrash, heavy.
I had a mentor. His name was Widow's Son. He's probably a similar age to you.
Hmm.
And during lockdown, he had a podcast with a friend of mine from Scotland. And I obviously said, I liked a bit of music here and there, so he would send me some recommendations for metal music, and that's kind of how I got into it. On top
Hmm.
of that, all of my friends in college were thrashers.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was just like the most normal looking guy ever, and I was surrounded by thrashers, and that kind of made everything,
You were the
yeah,
most normal looking guy.
yeah.
Was that before you let? I mean, did you have your hair short?
I had my hair like up to here in
Oh,
curtains with a
okay.
pink bandana, and that was like my old look.
Okay, okay. Do you ever like? I mean, did you consciously enjoy changing your look, or was it like something you felt you needed to do, like subculturally speaking?
It was something that kind of just came with time. I'd say it kind of like soon kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 2021, I was like, I want to grow my hair out. I want to have like long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2022 to 2023, that's kind of when the style change came.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
started like really starting to get wearing like the more metal fashion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 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 absolutely,
And
man.
then eventually I just decided I wanted to try corpse paint, and here we are.
That's cool. Did you have any like as far as corpse paint goes, um and black metal, like what did you say? Was it Carpathian Forest your first sort of like impression of black metal? Right. Um so that's a bit fringe as far as, isn't it? A bit for I mean, as far as the spectrum, I mean, of old sort of like black metal bands.
Yeah.
Did you get into any more mainstream ones, or did you like listen to that and Burzum and stuff like that? Or how did it go?
So I think the first ones I really got into were Carpathian Forest,
Hmm.
Bursum, obviously Mayhem,
Hmm.
but they were like quite minimal compared to the other ones, and also who was another one? Happy Days, which is more of a
Happy Days.
DSBM.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
more
yeah.
DSBM, and then also Kektorak. They were like my main,
Hmm.
the main bands that got me into it really.
Hmm.
And then eventually like other things came along.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, and have you been to, like, personally, as Joel, have you managed to, have you gotten to see like bands live, like black metal? Have you seen like known black metal acts live on stage? And has that influenced you towards what you want to do?
No,
No.
no. I could never really afford with time nor money to
Mm-hmm.
go see any shows because they were always so far away from me.
No, that's
But
understandable.
I am currently in the process of fixing that as I'm going to see Spectral Wound in October.
Oh, that's
They're one of
nice.
my greatest influences, and
Oh,
also I'm going to see Morbid, which is
sweet.
another band that I got into pretty early on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to see them in January. So
That
I'm
sounds
really trying to
exciting.
catch up on lost time.
That sounds exciting, man. That sounds exciting. Absolutely, dude. Um, cool. Okay. And so, how do you end up? So okay. So let me rewind a little bit. So you decide to pursue sort of like an artistic path, right? And you get your stage name. You have your, obviously you compose your music, right, yourself, correct?
Yeah,
And I also read that you also you wrote a novel, right? You also wrote a novel on which
yeah,
you based the, is it the lyrics that you based on the novel?
yeah. So that story it isn't available anywhere. Only a few people have read it.
Mm-hmm.
But its name is Devout, and it's a
Hmm.
dark fantasy story, and it basically tells the tale behind the music.
Okay, okay. Um, are you planning on making that public? It sounds interesting to me. That's why I'm asking you, basically.
Yeah, I am planning on making it public, but I
Mm-hmm.
do want to. I need to tweak it first and make sure that it's like
Mm.
ready to release.
Yeah,
I'm not quite
yeah,
happy with it right now, so
yeah.
like I want to try and fix the first one, and I'm currently
Mm-hmm.
writing the second one and then the third one as well, and I have a prequel story planned too.
That sounds cool, man. That sounds cool. Um, and also something else that grabbed my attention. I mean, also through listening to your music on my live stream and off the air as well, and reading, well, the bio that you have on Spotify. By the way, people, if you have Spotify, the song that we listened to, by the way, was the same titled song, "Evil Dungeon Crawler." That's how we started. The first song that we aired and you heard is Evil Dungeon Crawler. So follow him on Spotify if you have Spotify, and you also got YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'm on all major streaming platforms apart
All
from
major platforms.
SoundCloud and
Mm-hmm.
Bandcamp. They're the
Mm-hmm.
only two places I'm not available.
Sweet, sweet. So, what was I gonna say? I was just gonna say something. Right. We were talking about. Oh yeah. So you come up with your stage name. First of all, is the stage name is from the novel, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And you also claim or describe rather you describe your music as gothic, depressive black metal, correct?
Correct.
Cool. Um, is that too different for people who don't know? Obviously, we're gonna play like in 2 minutes. We're gonna play like another track from your discography. But is it too different than saying dsbm? Is it too different than that, or the
I
gothic
wouldn't say
element?
so.
Hmm.
I'd say like the gothic element is quite minimal compared to the dsbm elements I have.
Mm, okay, okay. And would you say there are any sort of like influences? Because it's a very specific subgenre of, let's say, black metal, right? It's a very specific sort of like area. Um, would you say there's any specific elements that you've blended in that people will get to hear as well in a few minutes?
Yeah, so I'd say I try to split my influences down the middle. Um,
Hmm.
Mainly to so for the black metal side of things, particularly on the first EP, I was very much influenced by Happy Days,
Mm.
Kektarak, Leviathan, and Spectral Wound. They were
Hmm.
like the four bands out of like the black metal side of things that really influenced me.
Hmm.
The other side of things I'd say is more like Typo Negative, London After Midnight,
Mm.
and I think Bauhaus comes in the next EP. But also Sisters of Mercy is another one. So I kind of try to split it down the middle.
Sweet, sweet. Okay. What we're going to listen to is Prophet of False Hope. Now, Prophet of False Hope was, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the two singles that you first released. Is that right?
Correct. It was the first one. That was my
The
debut.
the very first one, right? I take it means a lot to you, right? Artistically, especially because it was your first artistic outing as far as black metal goes, right?
Kinda. I kind of hate it a little bit.
Why? Tell me, come on, tell me. Why do you hate it?
I'm not a big fan of the structure,
Okay.
um, and I'm also not really a big fan of the mixing.
Okay, okay, okay. Do you mind that we will listen to it? Do you want me to
Not at
swap
all.
it? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I like people listening to it. It's just me personally. I'm not really a big fan of my own tracks, but you know what they say. Like all every artist hates is their biggest critic. You know,
It's
like
true. It's so true. I know all about it, even if I'm not an artist myself, as in a musician or anything like that. But when it comes to being creative, if you're a creative person, yes, I absolutely understand 100% what you're saying. So, people, we're going to listen to Prophet of False Hope. This is and was the very first song that Envus here, Evil Dungeon Crawler, released. And this was this year, right? Correct?
sorry.
This was in April this year?
Yeah, yeah, this year.
Perfect. We're going to mute our microphones and we'll be right back right after the song, people. I love the way it ends, if it makes any sense. It's very the contrast, that beauty. You know what I mean? That harmony at the end.
I get what you mean.
That's pretty poetic, man. And generally speaking, the feeling I'm getting from you is that you are a very poetic individual,
Somewhat.
and somewhat. I try, as I usually say. Um, how do you read a lot? You read a lot, right?
It depends. Sometimes, yeah.
Like literature, like novels and stuff. Like
I've read some in the past. I prefer to read a manga called
mhm.
Berserk. That's probably what I've been reading the most recently.
Nice, nice. And how much of what you read bleeds into what you create afterwards, whether it's writing lyrics or a book?
Quite a lot. I'd
Quite a
say
lot, right?
a large portion. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice, man. Yeah, you're a very I reckon you're a very creative individual, and I wanted to say because I'm not like the biggest sort of like expert on this sort of like corner of the black metal sort of like spectrum. Generally speaking, dsbm, right, and also gothic depressive black metal as well as you call it. Um, it has a very, I don't know, a tone of existential dread or angst, or does that make sense? Is
Yeah.
that what was currently, as a person and a creator, is that what's your most innermost thoughts that trouble you at night? Is that where it's coming from? Is it like existential? Like, are you a person like deeply thought, about existence, about life, death? Because obviously, to be in that sort of like part of black metal, in that specific area of black metal, you must have a lot of like concern, worry.
Yeah. I'd say all of my music kind of comes from, particularly on the first EP,
Hmm.
it comes from a very personal place. For example, the novel that we spoke about before is also a novel about personal trauma. It is all based off events that I've been through and emotions and things of that nature that I have dealt with. Um, and the music is very much the same, particularly with songs like Amend
Yeah.
and also Morning in a Black Forest at Dawn. That one, even though it has no lyrical value because it is just an instrumental,
Hmm.
that is a very personal song because the reason there is crying in that song, the reason it's in a forest and stuff, is because in my mind I would retreat to a forest at dawn, um, in the break of day after a heavy night of drinking, which I was always miserable doing.
Hmm.
It like the entire EP and a lot of the songs that I'm working on currently and I've worked on that will be releasing soon all come from a place of like personal angst,
Mm.
um, and various different facets of the mind.
Would you say that what you do, when it comes to music and writing, would you say it's therapeutic for you? Like, as a form of expression, of letting things out, would you say it's therapeutic? A way of,
100%.
yeah? Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
That's a good way of using music and creativity, man. Absolutely. Um, and what do you plan on doing generally? Like, okay, pose. I've forgotten a very important part. So keep this picture on one side, and on the other side, a lot of people got to know you. Um, so I watched these videos where you went and you did karaoke, right? But you went there wearing corpse paint, and you went there again and again and again and again. I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure it wasn't just one take, right? One night. It
Oh
was.
no, it was every Wednesday.
How did that come about? Like, what kind of night led you to do karaoke in black metal corpse paint and clothing?
Well, the idea kind of came from when I dressed like a full metalhead
Hmm.
to go see Barbie. So I wore my bullet belt, I wore my leather jacket, I wore my battle jacket, I wore everything, including a Barbie shirt, and I did my eyes up. And I went to see Barbie with my friends. So I kind of took that idea and was like, okay, I like black metal, and I kind of want to take that idea and run with it. So what I
Yeah.
did was, I was like, you know what, I might as well dress up as the scariest individual ever, and I'll also kind of do it for Halloween and stuff, and I'll go sing the goofiest song I can think of. So the first one, because I already like to go to karaoke with my friends,
Yeah.
so I was like, I might as well just like do something funny with it.
Hmm.
So what I did was the first time I did it was I sang "Rock and Roll McDonald's" by Wesley Willis, and
What
it
was the
it kind of
reaction? What was the reaction around you? Like, people who had no clue who you were and were just staring at you. What was the?
everybody was like quite flabbergasted. A lot of people took videos of me, and then I found those videos online, and I just uploaded them to my own TikTok page, and they kind of
Yeah.
blew up a little bit.
Yeah.
And from there, I was like, okay, we need to make this like we've got something good here. We need to make this like a weekly thing. So I started doing it every single week, and yeah, it was good. It was incredible, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
There's some really funny takes that you've put up online of your adventures there. Is that near your where you live? Is that like local to where you live?
I used to work there. I used to
Ah,
be a bar supervisor there at uni because that's on the uni campus. And
mm-hmm.
yeah, we when I used to live at university, we used to go there every Wednesday. But since it's the summer now, they've closed and they're going to open
Okay.
back up in September. I will probably go back in September. But yeah,
They'll end up expecting you.
they will. Yeah, they kind of treat me as like a little celebrity, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If they've caught wind of the videos on TikTok, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
they've reached out to me regarding them actually. Like they've asked for like, promotion and stuff like that. They were like, "Can we use your video for this and that?" And like when I graduated, they were like, "Oh yeah, little did anybody know, Joel actually had a secret alter ego this entire time, and he used to go to karaoke and sing white girl songs."
But that was amazing. Like the corpse painting that you've done is awesome, and you look really sad and depressed. In the corpse paint, and you're singing like. Tell people some of the song titles that off the top of your head that you've uploaded.
Uh, mm. Wait, so my songs or the karaoke songs
The
I sang?
karaoke songs, because
Oh, the
that's how it
karaoke
all
songs.
started. That's how a lot of people discovered you. I suppose, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I did California Girls by Katy Perry, Rock and Roll McDonald's by Wesley Willis, She Wolf by Shakira. Um, what was another one that
In
blew
this
up?
corpse paint, right?
In this cosplay, this exact outfit that I'm wearing right now, yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And also Cyndi Lauper comes to mind. Girls Just Want to Have Fun and things like that.
That's awesome,
Even
though.
Flow was another one I did by Pearl Jam. I did Even Flow.
You know why it's awesome, in my opinion, because not only are you a very creative, not only do you seem to me to be a very creative individual, very polite and kind human being for the very little that I've interacted with you, but it also tells me that you've got an amazing sense of humor and that you don't take things too seriously. You know what I mean? In a good sense. So,
Yeah, I'm
so
kind
you
of goofy.
you know how to have a good laugh. You know how to have a good
Yeah,
laugh, man. And that's very important, I believe, in my opinion. That's a
yeah.
big plus.
My friend in chat, David, he's the one that actually started bringing me to karaoke, and he's the one that like filmed a lot of the videos.
Yeah.
So shout out to David.
Shout out to David. Sweet, sweet. Okay, so um, what was I gonna say? Okay, so we're gonna listen to Amend, right? Um, I think, well, you did mention it earlier on, Envus. I think you mentioned something slightly about Amend. Would you like to say anything about this particular song? It's the first song that I played of yours, to be honest. And it wasn't when you joined, it was before you joined on the same day when I think Rosie asked for this particular song. And I played it. And then you joined and I played, I can't remember, I think Prophet of False Hope. I can't remember which song we played when you joined afterwards. But is there anything you would like to say about Amend?
Amanda's probably like my most well-known track, apart from the first two I released, and it's a very personal song.
Mm-hmm.
It's about kind of like giving a lot and not getting anything in return, feeling like you're seen as a disgrace,
Mm-hmm.
um, and kind of reaching a breaking point where there is nothing really left to fix.
Mm-hmm. Quick question. While I was playing the song before, were your people on your live stream able to hear it?
No,
No, that's what I guess. That's what I guess. So for people to be able, they can hear us talk, right? And everything, but
yeah,
when I play a song from my Spotify, they just see you just sat there, right?
yeah, they can't hear anything from your side of things. No.
Right, okay. So people, just so you know, in case you want to hear, well, obviously they know the song. There's going to be Amend playing, and that's why Envis is going to be on his stream silent because we're going to mute our microphones. All right, people. So here we go. This is Evil Dungeon Crawler and the song Amend. Now that was Amend by Evil Dungeon Crawler. My personal favorite, dude. I mean, I like your music in general, but I think Amend is my personal favorite. I'll go with Amend for sure.
I think that's a popular opinion.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is, from what I've gathered. But it's very heartful. Um, it's got emotions in it. It's not just like I did something just to do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
congratulations, because I haven't told you, but you released it this year, and it's my first time talking to you. So congratulations on your music. It's very good, and I think you'll do great in the genre of black metal. I think you'll find a lot of people out there who will relate both to the lyrics and the emotion and the music itself as well. But I'm not done talking to you. I just wanted to ask you, what are you doing now? What are you? I know you've got your day job, obviously, like most musicians do nowadays, anyways. Like, which is killing you. So you're in the daily grind, and it is difficult to combine. I know that. But what are you planning on? How are you planning on going forward with everything, with the music and
The end goal with my music is an album named Vile Separation from God. It is going to be a 12-song album and is heavily focused on melodic black metal. Think Dissection, Abigor, bands like that. So I'm
Oh,
kind of shifting direction a little bit, but it's always going to be dsbm, if you know what I mean.
that sounds
Some of the ideas I have executed so far have been like much in the same vein as my EP, but the
hmm
ideas I have right now that I want to make are genuinely quite. It takes a turn, and it's a better turn in my opinion.
hmm
So that's my end goal. The album isn't really started yet. There's only a few songs that I've got demos for right now. Um,
hmm
but a few people have heard like
hmm
those demos and they quite like what they've heard.
hmm
But my next move is I'm currently working. This is the first time I'm announcing it publicly, apart from inside the Discord server, which you can join. But I am currently in collaboration with Strid, which is another local dsbm duet, and we are working on a song together, and it'll be releasing in September.
Nice.
Now, after that, I'll be releasing a 5-song EP in October, late October,
hmm
and that's all you can really expect from me for now.
hmm That sounds good, man. To be honest, it means that you're busy. And have you ever thought of like how far this can take you, or does that concern you at all, or do you just want to do it locally? Do you know how I mean it? Like, are you satisfied with doing it whenever you can? Creating music whenever you can at your own pace, no stress, and maybe a support performance here, maybe a headlining performance there locally, or do you envision something like touring with black metal idols of yours as a support, or things like that?
I would like to tour with like some bands that I
Mm-hmm.
like. Like for example, I'd love to play with Sedan and Spectral Wound, like I said before.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with those guys would be absolutely phenomenal. But the thing is, I need bodies. I can't seem to find anybody in my local area that is as passionate about black metal as I am. So
Mm-hmm.
finding band members that are
Yeah.
like as passionate and as devoted as me is quite difficult to come by. And on top of that,
True.
like I feel like I'm not very good in bands because I feel like I need input, and then I don't like to change the input I have too much. And when it gets changed too much, I start to lose faith in the song. So I'm kind of bad
Mm.
working in groups. But when it's just me, I just enjoy making songs. But if I can find people that are willing to play my songs, then I might play live.
What how many people would you need? I mean, listen, TikTok is a big place, man. I mean, you probably know it from your own TikTok profile, but
Yeah.
I encounter musicians every single time I stream, literally from everywhere. The UK, Central Europe, America, Canada, this, that. Um, have you ever like given it a thought? Maybe perhaps that I don't know how it would work out, but I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes, thinking, if I didn't have anyone to work with where I am to create something like music, would you not try and like network yourself with people, elsewhere? Even that's better than nothing. Still, you know what I mean?
I have kind of we have something like that with Purgatory, but everybody's so busy with their own personal projects that it's kind of like, to ask would be kind of rude of me.
Mm-hmm.
But like what I'd need is I'd need like pretty much it would be a 5 piece band, I think, because I can't play and play bass at the same time. I'd want to play bass if I was playing live, but I think I'd need to focus on the vocals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'd need like a rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, a bass, and the drums.
Cool. Are you open to people approaching you? Because there's like 100 people on my side right now. So you never know, dude. You never, like there's people from the UK for sure, 100% watching right now. Some of them might be musicians and definitely into black metal if they're watching us talk about it, I would guess. But are you open? Like, can people follow you and like message you like with their stuff? Like, are you open to that, or do you go like, oh man, there's like this guy spamming me with music? You know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, I'm not really good at talking to people because I get a
mm-hmm,
lot of weird comments and stuff. So it's kind of like I don't really speak to many people.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, like I kind of make the joke that I hate my fans because a lot of them just kind of spoil the fun for that reason. Um, but like yeah, so regarding people approaching me like wanting to join the band and stuff, I have people that are like advisory roles. Like for example, there's a guy called Lobster. He
Mm-hmm.
helps me with drums, and my
Mm-hmm.
friend Brody helps me with the guitar and gives me feedback and stuff. But like I'm not really open to people approaching me right now, but I'll probably
Mm.
have like an application post up at some point
At
saying,
some
"Hey, I'm
point.
looking for bandmates to play
Mm.
live."
Mm. Yeah, because you'll need people, even if it's
Hundred
just
percent.
session musicians. You'll still need, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, it will be really, it will be really cool. I really wish you all the best. I wish you, to meet your dreams and your expectations with where you want to get to with your music and your own art. I think it's beautiful that you're out there trying and you're creating and you're putting yourself out there and you're doing it rather well, in my humble opinion, because I've seen bands and musicians from many sort of like points of view, from being a band manager myself or working for big record labels or doing television or radio. You're a very humble and honest and interesting individual, and I'm very pleased and happy to have had you on my show, on my live stream show. What an old school word, show, on my live stream. My age just showed. Um, Thank you so much for being here today. Obviously, before you go, I would like you to answer any questions you would like, either from your stream, if they're asking you or they're telling you anything, or if you want me to have a look and see people. You can ask Envus anything you like as a final sort of like bit.
As long as it ain't too personal.
Yeah,
I saw a
don't.
few.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw a few personal comments earlier about my personal life and things like that. I won't be answering anything like that.
no, no, don't be rude. Don't be indiscreet, people. Be nice. Can you bring Bobby?
Bobby's my dog.
Oh, okay. What
He's
kind?
yeah, he's actually in the story that I've written behind the music. Actually, that the story is basically a tale of me and my dog.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's like one of the main characters.
That's awesome. What dog? What breed is he?
He's a Patterdale Terrier.
Okay.
It's a British breed that was discovered in the 50s.
Nice, nice. Small size dog or?
He's small for his breed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can kick him. Like, I can not kick my dog. Jesus, that was the worst Freudian slip I've ever had. I can pick him up, and he's like a baby. Like he's about the size of a baby.
Someone asked in the chat, "What's your favorite color?"
My favorite color is probably green.
What's that with the green thing on your videos whenever you talk? Why do people go green, green? Oh, I have another question. Shit. See, I forgot the best bits for the end. What's up with Dave Mustaine rating your comments? Like,
I have no idea.
why are there so many Dave Mustaines in your comment section? I found that hilarious. I really found that hilarious because at first I thought people were joking. I thought people were just messing with you saying that, and then I paid close attention to like the profile pictures and all that, and I started noticing a pattern where there was like lots of Dave Mustaines all over all over your comments, and I was like, dude, what the f? What's going on, man? What kind of Matrix trick is this?
Yeah, I have no idea about the Dave Mustaine cult. I don't know where they came from or what boat they arrived in on, but yeah,
The
whatever, man.
cult, the Dave Mustaine cult.
The Dave Mustaine cult.
That was hilarious, man. And what's up with the green? What's that green hue?
So, the green hue is from my wallpaper on my PC, but the wallpaper is my album artwork for my next release. So that
Ah,
it's like a meta teaser pretty much.
wow, dude. Meta teaser. I like that. So that explains why every time, whenever, no, it's not all videos, right? It's some videos, right?
Most of them, yeah, some of
Most
them.
of them,
It's
right?
just whenever I need extra lighting and it's dark outside, I just whack my PC screen on
You
and it's
just
like,
go
oh, you're
green,
green. Yeah.
man. You are like Elric. That's a compliment. Elric. Someone said Elric.
For fuck's sake.
What is
It
both of you?
makes a difference from Pele Olin.
What is both of your favorite foods? What's your favorite food, dude?
I gotta say Chinese takeaway or Taco Bell.
Taco Bell? I only
Yeah.
encountered one Taco Bell, and when my 8 years of living in the UK, I think I only saw it once. Where's it? You have a Taco Bell where you live?
Yeah, so there's a Taco Bell in one of the cities near me, and it's a
Oh,
blessing.
I've heard it's quite nice. I never tried it myself, but I heard it's quite nice. Mine
I do
is
recommend.
obviously. I mean, Greece has lots of good food, and so I'm a bit like my favorite dish is like moussaka. So Greek moussaka is like with the aubergines and the mincemeat and the potatoes inside and all that and the bechamel. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite uh, things to eat. Favorite Iron Maiden shirt, says Sid. Do you have a favorite Iron Maiden shirt? I don't know. Do you have one?
Um, I've got like I've got a hoodie that I wear. It's like an extra large hoodie, and it's like my favorite hoodie ever because it's so
Is it?
baggy and comfy. It makes me feel like a Dark Lord. Let me find. I think I can't remember I'm terrible with like album names.
It's all right. It's a
Let
maiden.
me
It's
see.
it's a it's an Iron Maiden one, right?
Yeah, it's an Iron Maiden album.
Mm.
It's
People, thank you so much for
it's
the
the
support so
future.
far with this TikTok one from me.
Let me see. I'm scrolling my Spotify right now.
TikTok just told me we detected an activity on your live stream, and it had me drag a puzzle across the screen, and I was like, "An activity? What?"
It's somewhere in time. It's a somewhere in time hoodie,
Oh,
and it's an
nice,
extra large, and it's very comfy.
nice, nice. Silly Amy says, "Are you guys blasphemers?" Is that what you
I'm a
asked?
blasphemer. I blaspheme.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd say my one of my favorite games is Blasphemous, so I think I am a blasphemer.
Cool. Ask him if he's gonna get a cat with Sophie called Cheesecake from Ziva. I don't even know what that means. A cat
A cat named Cheesecake, awesome.
from Ziva. Okay. I think he likes that hoodie. Yes, he obviously does. You guys like slam? I don't know. That's a very general question. It depends. I'm not a huge expert on slam either, which is like a subgenre of death. Does he
I like
know?
slam.
You like slam, yeah?
I do like slam. I'm kind of like you, where it's like I haven't really been much into death and slam metal much, but from what I've heard, I enjoy it. And I
Mm-hmm.
hate people that say slam is bad because it's not. Like the slam songs
Mm-hmm.
I've heard are very good.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked if you like Ramstein.
I can't lie to you, I don't like Rammstein.
That's
No.
all right. That's all right. Give Party Cannon a listen. Someone's advertising a band, Party
I like
Cannon.
Yeah, Party Cannon's very good. Party
Okay.
Cannon's very good.
No idea what slam is. Ask him about Cradle Filth. Oh, right. Black metal from the UK. What do you think about Danny Filth and his band?
They're more like symphonic, right?
Yeah, more melodic and symphonic and with like a louder, more clear production and all that.
See, I could never really get into that. A lot of my tastes are more raw,
Mm-hmm.
and like it took me a while to get into a lot of melodic black metal, such as like Abigor and like Dissection. It took me a very long time, and Emperor as
Mm.
well. Emperor was a really hard pill for me to swallow, and I
Yeah.
love Emperor nowadays, but like it took me a long time to get into them.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cradle of Filth is just one of those ones that it just it never stuck the landing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like it's an old bad habit of mine. I am not really a big fan of symphonic black metal. I
Mm-hmm.
like melodic, but not symphonic. So
Mm.
it's kind of like and while the two are somewhat interchangeable in areas, like they have a lot of crossover. Like if you have a Venn diagram, like a
Mm.
lot of bands will fall like in
Did
between
well
those,
in
and I don't mind.
between. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind the ones that fall down the middle, but like straight symphonic, I'm not a big fan of them.
So you definitely don't like Balsagoth.
Nah, not
You
really.
know, you've tried. You've probably
I've
obviously
tried.
yeah.
Yeah, I've tried and I've failed. I've tried and I've failed.
So, and I take it that you're not too big on bands like Dimmu Borgir and bands like that, right?
I do like a bit of Dimmu Borgir.
A
Like
bit, right?
yeah, like the smallest amount. I'm yet to give them like a full try. The way I usually like to try out new artists and stuff is I'll listen to a full album, and if I like the album, I'll stick with them. If I don't like the album, I won't stick with them.
Hmm.
So like I've got a big list, like a real big list of different artists and stuff. I haven't quite got around to any Dimmu Borgir stuff, but the singles I've heard, I've actually quite enjoyed.
Hmm. Okay. I'm just asking these questions because obviously I've got songs lined up right after we finish this quote unquote interview, which was more. You see, I told you it was more like a friendly chill. It's not like I say, like I usually tell people. It's not like you're gonna be interviewed by someone at CNN or anything like that. Far from it. I think it was a very pleasurable experience. I really enjoyed it. And just so you know, Envis, I don't know how I've managed to do this, but you're my fourth interview on my live stream, and all four interviews that I've done were the first for each one, respectively. So I don't know how this has come about. Someone was calling me Cherry Poppins the other day because of the it being the Virgin sort of like voyage of each band that shows up here. Um, but it's been an absolute honor and pleasure for me to have you here. It's been super interesting. I'm really happy that we've become friends. I'm not going to lie. You seem like a very interesting individual, and I'm looking forward to your artistic creations, whether they're musically primarily or the novel that we were talking about, your novel. I'll be highly interested in the future. Is there anything that you would like to say to all the lovely people who sat here with us for a good hour and went through all the technical bubbles at the beginning of the live stream and everything?
Well, thanks for listening to me yap, and thanks for enjoying the music if you enjoyed it all. And stay tuned for the collaboration with Strid dropping in September. I'll have more information out over the weekend. And also look forward to my next EP, which takes a little bit of a different direction. It leans more into the gothic side of things than it does the black metal side of things. But nonetheless, I think you'll enjoy it. But thank you, and thank you for having me.